Hi everyone, this is Yushim. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be sharing with you some tips and tricks about baking polymer clay. Let's say that your clay tends to break very easily, or you don't know what is the best baking temperature and time for baking your clay, or that you want to avoid burning your clay and avoid the uneven shiny surface of the backing of the clay after you bake it, then this will be the video you want to watch. And let's get into it. To start with, every single time you get a new brand or a new type of clay, I highly suggest that you make these little test pieces with different baking time and different baking temperature. There is always a suggested baking temperature and baking time on the package of your clay. So when you're making these test pieces, you would adjust the time and temperature based on the suggested time and temperature. And after you finish making these, you would wait until these are cool, until they are room temperature, and then you will bend each one until they break. This will help you get an idea of how flexible the clay is at the according temperature and baking time, so that you can find the best temperature and the best baking time according to the clay brand and type. The clay will always get stronger if you bake them for longer, but some clay can be really sensitive to heat. For example, if you bake the white for too long or for too high, then it can get really yellow. Making these little test pieces is also really useful when you're working with some polymer clay that have special effect with it. For example, the translucent clay. And next, I will share with you how you can avoid the uneven backing of the clay when you're baking your clay. This is a really easy fix. All you have to do is bake your clay on clean printing paper. You have to make sure that the printing paper that you're using have no writing or printing on it, because any writing and printing can be transferred to the back of your polymer clay, which will make your clay really ugly. If you make your pieces on ceramic tiles and you're really worried about the clay getting ruined when you're transferring it to printing paper, then you can put it in the fridge for a little bit and let the tile and the clay cool down, which will help your clay keep its shape when you're moving it around. Let's say that you really want to bake your clay on ceramic tiles, then you can always sand and polish the backings afterwards. Another way is just to hide the backing. You can use colored resin to hide the backing. You can cover it with liquid clay and then rebake it, or you can cover it with another layer of clay on the back and then rebake it. But I think the easiest way is probably just to bake your clay on some printing paper. And the next tip is about these test pieces that I would bake along with my earrings. Every single time when I finish making the earrings, I would keep the scrap pieces of clay and then I would make them into the same thickness as my earrings, and then I would bake it along with my earring. And after I finish baking my earrings, I would take out these test pieces, wait for it to cool, and then bend it and see if it's strong enough. If it's not, I would rebake my clay for another 5 minutes, and I would repeat the step until the clay is strong enough. And next we have this oven thermometer. It is really handy to have. This is way more accurate than the temperature on the right. So every single time before I bake my pieces, I will preheat my oven and set the temperature to the temperature that I want my clay to be baked at. And then I would turn the time all the way to the highest amount. And then I would put this oven thermometer inside the oven, close the doors, and then I will wait until the oven thermometer points at a specific number for like a minute without moving. Then I would adjust the temperature based on the number on the thermometer. Let's say that I want it at 275, but the number on the oven thermometer is at 300. Then I would lower the temperature. Then I would wait, adjust, wait, and adjust until the number on the thermometer is exactly what I wanted and it has stayed at that temperature for a little bit. That's when I would take out the thermometer. Remember that it is always hot in the oven, so remember to wear these. And after I take out the thermometer, I would put my earrings in the oven, and that's when I adjust the time of the oven to the time that I wanted. And lastly, I would put this cover made with tinfoil on top of the clay to make sure that it's not touching your clay. This can help prevent a bit of the yellowing, especially with the light colors. And this is today's video. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already. See you guys next time. Bye.